Hey, John.
Hello.
Hey, we did it. It works. The internet
Is
is
this thing
amazing.
on?
The future. Oh, this is so weird. I can see
Oh,
myself in
look.
like three places. You're in bed.
Where else was I going to do the podcast
Oh,
from? I do it every week from bed. I may as well do it from bed.
oh, that's amazing.
Kind
I
of weird
love
though,
it.
because it's like, what up?
All of these
Behind the
internet people
microphone.
are watching you in bed. It's perfect. Hello, everybody. We have 28 people watching, which is
Hi,
amazing.
Discus. Oh, I got to push record.
Yeah. So I guess this is probably a fun
Oh,
behind the
no.
scenes for everybody because we like the first 20 minutes of every podcast is messing around. We won't make you 20 minutes, but we will have to
Yeah, we have to
look,
mess around.
look in
Because I
Trello.
have my fucking Yeti cable is fucked up.
Oh no, are we going to have that again this week?
Yeah, and
So
like just have to not move at all.
last week, John and I had probably the worst podcast we
Okay,
ever
for sure.
recorded. I'm also going to push record just because this is all fun stuff to have.
And
Um,
then I'm going to
So last
pause
week
it.
we were trying to record this whole thing, and John has what was actually happening? It was like a USB cable thing. I don't know. Every time you moved it, it would crash his whole computer. So we had to repeat it like I don't know, so many times. The editing was a complete nightmare.
I'm sorry.
Yes, but it came out actually pretty good. And now you all get to see somebody saying the mic is the same. Oh, Kristen is saying that the mic is the same size as your face.
Yeah. And imagine I used to have it over on the other side of the room when we were recording before. I mean, not like literally because it's not got that long of a cable,
Yeah,
but I would just put it on my bed like
just balance on the side or
over.
something.
I know I like had some books that I put it on over in the corner and I just kind of
Yeah.
talk in its general direction. I don't know. I'm like, well, this is a sensitive microphone. It should be able to. Are you drinking wine?
Mm-hmm. I'm
Uh-uh.
always drinking something. So, like, another fun fact is we never talk on video because this is not a real scenario for us.
No, we'd never do this.
Usually, I'm in the closet, so I don't want to record, show you my bedroom because it's like really padded in there. This room's a little bit more echoey, and B, the internet's really bad at the other end of my house. So here we are. Anyway, enough of that history. Should we talk about Trello real quick, John? So I put a bunch of stuff in, but I'm
Wait, are you
curious.
recording?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Okay.
But I think
I
it's kind
know.
of fun to have a behind the scenes episode. Why not, right?
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen so people can see even how bad our Trello is.
Oh God.
Is there anything sensitive in there? Oh no, we're good. Okay, I'm just gonna show my screen really quick. So this is what our like really
Kidding me.
amazing Trello is like. What
I'm
am I
so
kidding?
grumpy
Why?
because Audacity's crashed like 6 times in a
Oh
row.
man.
I'm really
Still,
worried it's gonna be fucked
put
up.
it somewhere safe. It doesn't matter if we miss this part, but the rest is pretty key. By the way, this is what it looks like to record a thing. It's very creepy and weird. I don't know if people can see that, but it's basically like the software from decades ago that we use, which is cool. Hey, there's heaps of people, which is amazing. Thank you for hanging out. And obviously, we haven't actually started yet, but if you have any questions while we rant, please ask them. And I think Yorick made an amazing bingo card, which is really cool. Meanwhile, John is like moaning about his microphone. Do you have anything else that uses micro
Furious
in
about
the
this.
USB?
Nah, you know what? I think.
Put it somewhere
So
solid.
well, look, this is the other. So this is the other option, and I don't know. I was like, do I have some kind of way to extend this? And my one solution for extending this is putting the USB dongle for the
Oh my
USB-C on
god.
this, and then switching laptops to USB-C because that would be long enough then to plug this into the microphone.
You don't have your other one?
No, and you know what? I'm such a dumbass. I said to myself,
Yeah.
bring the cable from the office home. You're going to be doing an episode this week, and you're going to be pissed off at yourself. And here we are, me sitting here being pissed off at myself. Past John was right about future John.
Oh dear. Okay.
Whatever.
Well, you
I think it's
decide.
okay. I think it's
As
okay.
long as Audacity doesn't crash, like if we can talk
If
during
it
this time.
does, we'll just have to recover and do what we did
Yeah.
last week.
For next time, export it as WAV because it's really fast. Anyway, these are technical things. Should we go through the Trello? I'm going to reshare it
Yeah,
so people can see what's good. So every week we do this horrible process. If you look at the everything that's written in here, it's such a mess. But somehow I feel like we make sense of it, right? Which is cool. So John, should we talk about Snap as a Chatterzr this week?
Yeah, I'm digging this selfie taking drone.
Yeah, that's cool. And apparently people are annoyed about the alienation, so that's chill. Facebook's making a creepy home device as well. This is literally how long we talk about this whole thing, by the way.
Facebook.
They have this the links are inside it, but apparently they're launching on like a Echo Show kind of thing, which is like mildly interesting. Maybe not. Fitbit actually did really good, which makes me feel really bad for what we said last week. So maybe it's worth mentioning.
Where is it finding its? Where is it finding its audience?
Smartwatches. They got 500,000 in revenue this quarter. No,
Apple Watches are pretty expensive compared to.
Yeah, that's why I think it's kind of interesting.
Right.
So there's that, and then so should we not, or should we talk about Fitbit? Yes or no?
Doesn't matter. What's the price of a Fitbit? That's the only thing.
Well, the only interesting thing is they were launching a smartwatch this year, like an actual good one.
Have they launched one yet?
Not a real smartwatch. By the way, if you're watching and there's anything that you saw this week, please tell us, because I obviously don't see everything.
Well, there's the Hyperloop test.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Theranos is almost out of money again.
Okay. I'm going to delete Shopify. I mean, they slay in it, but that's pretty boring.
Okay, so they have a Fitbit Blaze, and they have I don't care about Shopify.
Yeah,
and they have a Fitbit Surge.
But they're launching a dedicated Apple Watch competitor.
Well, that's dumb.
Autoplay video. Why? Okay, there we go. Maybe we kill it. HBO got hacked. Twitter is dying, which we got to talk about this. Apple was big. I don't know. I mean, it's earnings. Meh. Unless you have something.
Oh, I read the whole of Larry Page's deposition in the Waymo Uber case.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that.
Pretty lulls.
Cool. I'm going to kill the Apple thing. Oh, the AI bot's talking in a non-English language. Did you catch that one, John? I saw something about that. There was something about, I'm going to stop showing my screen so I can Google it. Supposedly, Facebook had to shut down its bot. Well, that I don't know if you saw that for a second, but it went into mirror mode. It invented its own language. Weird. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I knew about that from a while ago.
Yeah, why did this come back up then?
Because they shut it down.
Oh, do you want to talk about it or no?
Sure. It's just another step in the artificial intelligence.
Let's talk about that. Plus the creepy Facebook home device. So Facebook AI thing. Yeah, Google. I think Google did this. Can you see the chat, by the way, John? I don't know if you can.
See what?
So there's a chat room with everybody in it. If you
no, I'm just looking at pictures of Fitbits right now.
Oh, okay. You go to the YouTube link.
I see. Hello, chat.
Well, I can hear your computer or something. Where is it coming from? Oh, I got an autoplay video in the background. I have no idea what was going on. No, so if you go to the YouTube thing and mute it, you'll get the actual chat from everybody else. Because for some reason you can't see it inside the Google Hangouts window we have.
Which one? The one that says QA?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so I have my screen. I've got the controls on the top.
Sorry, guys, we're figuring this out.
I'm super comfy. It's pretty nice.
If you go to the YouTube link in your Slack, oh no, I didn't send you one. Okay.
No, you sent me a Google Hangout link.
That explains why. And then
there's a Q&A button. I'm scared to push it though.
No, don't push that one. I sent it to
apps. What is this thing that Google's made?
So everybody's telling us under the video, but we have this Google Hangouts interface for running in a studio or something, and it doesn't really work. Like it doesn't show us.
It's me on TV.
Yeah, and then just mute yourself, and then you can see the chat.
Okay, I want to actually just stop this whole. Oh shit, this is annoying.
Oh, and you can pause the video too. That works.
My computer's literally gonna fall over.
Uh-oh.
It's so grumpy right now, Dad. Like, okay.
Fucking
wine. Slack is such a 1,000 million Slack helpers running.
You can kill it because we're not calling on there for once.
Oh yeah, right. Good point. Oh, but what if people want to talk in the podcast channel?
Oh, that's true. Okay, I also have it open. To be fair. Okay, I think we're ready to do this thing based on the topics.
I'm also gonna paste the bingo.
So I think at some point we'll turn to the group if there's a group by the time we get through this. For questions, like if anybody has any questions, just throw them in there. Like it's chill either way. We're here to hang out and record like we usually do, except on video, and so on. Okay, cool. My microphone is recording. Are you recording, John?
All systems go.
I have mine like set up. It's to the left, so nobody can see it, but it's fine.
I've taken the advice of just being as close to this stupid thing as I can be. So
that's right over here. There we go. Look, it's as big as my face. All right. Are you ready to party?
I'm ready to party.
All right. Are you drinking
party,
or are you
party.
Sober today?
Got the Takat.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. I was going to ask you what episode we're on, but we're good. Yeah, it's a good beer.
I think this is 50.
All right, I think that's it. I think the window says it's episode 50 live. I feel a lot of pressure though right now. Oh yeah, thoughts on everyone trying to download this SoundCloud archive? That's a good question, actually. Yeah, that would be cool to talk about, actually. I've seen a few people panicking, including myself. All right, cool. I'm going to drop Trello out so I can see it. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. Are you recording this on your tiny MacBook or what?
No, I'm on my music making Mac.
Nice. My music making Mac. I want to get a new
computer, but I don't know what to get.
You should buy a PC.
Nah.
I have my
also,
PC.
My
let me show you my
fucking
PC.
iPhone is. I've gotten the screen replaced 3 times now.
It is very large. Oh, really?
Yeah. Most recent one a couple days ago, and this new one's still shit. And so I'm like holding out for whatever the next one. There were some good rumors that came out this week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we should talk about those. Do you see them?
Oh yeah, the rumors. Love me some rumors. Okay, should we do this? Oh, I feel so much pressure. I just like putting off the intro just because like I've got like stage pressure. It's crazy.
Chill out.
I just need to
smoke some dope.
On video? Okay.
Okay, ready?
I'm ready. This is episode 49, no 50.
Oh, can you play the Charge Tech podcast intro song?
Oh yeah, should we do that? Okay, let's do this for real, hey? Let's get hype on this stream. Hold on 1 second. I just have to, I have a computer in front of me that I also have to drive.
By the way, if you're wondering if Owen says things like that all the time IRL.
Like what? Like what?
It's lit. Let's get lit on the stream. I'm down with the, I'm going to use them
Savage
terms. That, like that. Who the hell is Savage? It's Lord of the Flies or some shit. Like, I don't know. When was the last time I thought about Savage?
Anyway, okay, let's see if this file will play. I have this. It's like a AIF. What do you play there?
All right, let's get going here.
hang on. I've got it. Come on, Windows. You can do it. Oh, maybe it can't. Oh, here it comes.
Cool. 30 people are watching our lives.
Okay, I'm going to make sure it doesn't blast them, but then we'll get into it. Here we go. How do you push play? Oh my God, how do I compute it?
This is too much hassle.
No, it's worth it. Just because we, we did all this effort to go live. Audio hardware. So the problem is on my Windows PC, if you change the audio devices, you have to manually. It's terrible.
Guess what?
What?
I can do you a huge favor.
What's that? Okay, here we go.
I think I can.
I'm playing it. I'm playing it. Here we go.
Okay.
We won't be able to hear it though. Like, can you hear it? Yeah. That's somebody else in the call doing it, which is amazing. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. All right, I'm just gonna mute it because it's too intense. All right. Hey, this is Charge Tech Podcast, episode 50, and we're live on YouTube, which is insane. I'm your host, Owen, and joining me today is...
John, your co-host.
Your co-host. We're going to look at tech under the hood. How you doing today, man?
I'm good. It's absolutely beautiful outside.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got up super early. Well, I was so
tell the real
sick
story.
last night.
Oh, no.
I think sick. I went to Gramercy Tavern, which is this like shishi sort of restaurant in Midtown in Manhattan, and I'm not sure if it's just that a lot of pork belly, like my belly, like my stomach doesn't like it because I feel like I always get a little bit sick when I eat pork belly. Right. But I had pork belly fried rice, and I got home. I was laying in bed for like 5 minutes. And I was like, oh
man.
And then it was like not even like, it was like 30 minutes of it was terrible. And also rice.
Rice? Oh, nasty, dude. How are you still here for this? And you're on video. I commend you. You showed up.
Anyway.
You're alive.
So the weather's beautiful. What's going on in Amsterdam?
Not much. It's a beautiful day here, as you can tell from the blinds. No, it's really good. It's this like horrible Dutch weather where it's weird to explain the weather on video, but it's this Dutch weather where it's you have to wear a jacket, you think, but it's so hot that if you go outside, it's too hot to wear a jacket. It's just very weird weather. So you have to carry a jacket with you because it's not quite warm enough. Anyway, so it's like that. It's just very humid and gross. But it's nice. It's that time of the year. It's been a busy week, dude. We got so much stuff. Kristen says, show us the weather. And I can't because
if you run the risk of my...
like John's computer will completely crash if we do that. So
microphone will.
I don't know if it's a good idea. Anyway, let's talk about tech. That's what we're here for.
Under the hood.
Under the hood. So apparently Facebook's AI invented its own language because English was very inefficient. Does that or does that not creep you out?
It seems like something AI would probably do.
What? Like, why would you? Why wouldn't it invent its own language?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like English is not efficient.
It's more likely that it would do that than it learning English and like.
Like, why would we? It's not like we write code in English anyway. It's so absurd.
It already knows English.
Yeah, it knows English. Well, the reason they shut it down, supposedly, I don't know if I believe the headlines about this, but apparently the reason they shut it down is because, they were worried about it. I don't know. It seems weird.
Why does it seem weird?
To me, in my mind, surely the reason you want to do this is because that's a good result in my mind, right? Like, why are you doing this otherwise? So. I don't know. I don't think it's as creepy as the headlines are making it out to be. I think it makes total sense. You don't go on your computer and like type in an IP address by typing out the word 19. You know, it's yeah, it's not creepy.
Although apparently Snoops.com rates that as false.
They were worried about Skynet. What rates what as false?
That didn't actually happen.
What, the AI thing?
No, I know that happened.
So apparently, do you want to like hear what the bots actually said? That's the most interesting thing.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
So like this is the thing. So the quote is still English. It didn't resemble English, right? So so it was two bots. They had a bot named Alice and a bot named Bob. I'm just reading it. It's so weird. And the reason they were worried about it is because it led to divergence from the human language as the agents developed their own language for negotiating. And this conversation is as banal as it gets. Bob, I can, everything else, ... And then Ella says, balls have 0 to me, over and over and over. And then blah, 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 blah. But it just goes on and on like this. It's nonsense. It's just nonsense. And I don't know. Oh, there you go. Leander says in the chat that he read it didn't actually shut down. So maybe that's the thing that Snopes is referring to. So look, either way, I mean,
I think what they said is they reprogrammed it to stick to English only. There was no reward and there was no incentivization in the network to say also stick to English, please.
Right. That makes a degree of sense, I think. Like, I don't know. I'm not surprised. Why would you write? I don't know. It just seems like weird clickbait to me.
So one of the things that I think is weird in AI is until relatively recently, probably in the last like few months, I think, we haven't actually been able to know why an AI decides to do what it does.
Right.
Or an AI, yeah. So,
right. You don't know the
like
decision-making process.
Properly built reinforcement learning, deep learning neural network, it's pretty hard to know why it did what it chose to do. You kind of just see the output. So now someone's like made some test suite that allows you to get it to convey to you why it did that. So
I did read somewhere that there was a like somebody's working on a service where you can like at least map out what it's thinking in a logical way. I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, this is expected behavior in the end. Like, why would you talk English if you're a computer? I think that's it. It's very inefficient. If an AI is gonna, like, I don't know, overthrow us, it's definitely gonna not talk English either. So,
well, you could say, well, it remapped stuff to multiple things and then changed orders that were considerably more complex. So, you know, some smaller rearrangement of just effectively letters could have new meanings.
Right.
The weird thing is when it repeated the one thing over and over and over and over and over and over again.
But it's figuring out a way to say stuff like without necessarily meaning what it's saying, right? So I think it's that. I don't know. So Facebook did something else that was weird this week. They're making a video thing for your house, which is really friggin' weird. So did you see 2 weeks ago, Amazon made this thing, the Echo Show, and it's like this, I was gonna say like super nice, but I've been trying to not say it.
It's like super nice.
So what's going on for the people who are listening to this later is on the YouTube channel, they are playing bingo. I don't think anybody got bingo yet, but I suspect there's definitely a good chance that somebody will. And I'm like, I've said like, so I'm hyper aware of the things I say. Anyway, so Amazon made this thing, Amazon Echo Show, which was, if you imagine the speaker thing, but with a screen and a video camera, so you can talk, you can call people, you can take phone calls, you can do whatever. But now Facebook wants to make one. This is the rumor. Facebook wants to have a video thing in your house. I don't know. The only reason I want to bring it up is I don't think I would trust Facebook in my house with a video camera. Seems a bit weird. Like, how do you know if they're watching you? How do you know? I don't know. The Amazon one is a push. Like, I have a Google Home, right? And even that is a push for me. You know, like I've said like so many times. Oh my God. This is all the stuff you hear that I edit out every week. But having Google Home is enough for me. You have this thing that's recording your audio constantly. You have, I don't know, it's inherently, you have to trust it. And so apparently Facebook is working on this thing with a big screen and smart camera technology. I don't know. John, would you trust Facebook with a high resolution camera in your home?
Yes.
Yes. Really? Because that's some very interesting machine learning data they could probably gather of you, right? And also, why would you use Facebook for that? Have you ever video called anybody on Facebook? I don't think I have. Am I doing it wrong?
No, I was just trying to think of what the point of this is, because there's no point in doing that.
Facebook Messenger.
Well, so I think one thing is they may be doing something for developing countries.
Yeah.
Like the point of this may not be this market, basically. So
right.
that's because like it's kind of hard to wrap your head around. And then I'm like, well, they definitely, we know that they have. See, I think we said this a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. VR is like a really nice thing for people who live in more economically developed countries.
Sure.
Less useful for people who live in less economically developed countries.
Right.
And we know that Facebook does have huge user bases in countries that are not as economically developed as ours. And so if you could mass produce some kind of like, I mean, basically, I think we see like even in parts of Africa, they're skipping intermediary steps of things that we did. And like China too almost went straight to apps and kind of is
and they're paying for everything and it is a whole thing.
So you kind of think, well, they're not going to build smartphones. They want to get into the communications business.
I guess it's about making it seamless, but it also just seems like a pointless money grab a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I also think that often we forget that things like this are simply done to test capability and capacity, because you don't want to roll into mass scale millions of device product rollout without knowing what you're doing. And so you can have something that's like 1% of where you want to get to, but you can say, well, if I can do this, then I can get to that next step quite likely.
Right. So it's almost just a middle ground technology even.
Yeah, just like a loss leader type thing to test stuff. And a company as big as Facebook at that scale, it wouldn't be unusual for them to do something like that, I don't think. But I do agree that it is a bizarro.
It's just a weird thing. Like, it doesn't seem like
Amazon they have that weird ass thing too, where it's like
it's super weird. But Amazon launched a new video and chat service alongside it, right? So they're kind of trying to enhance their existing suite. There's some people like in the chat. So people are saying people have used Facebook Messenger video and voice, but it runs apparently over Skype. I don't know. I think it used to initially, but Craig also said that people all use Facebook and not Hangouts, so hence he uses Facebook videos. That actually makes a degree of sense. I actually just realized that I call my mum on either Facebook Messenger or on I'm like FaceTime audio. I guess the people who don't use iPhones I call on Facebook video without having ever realized it. There you go. I guess you just use where people are. But I just wanted to talk about something, so I was going to bring it up at the end. But you mentioned VR, right? I had the craziest experience in the weekend. So as you know, I have a VR helmet, which we've talked about a few times.
Which one do you have?
I have the Vive, this one, like this thing. And in the weekend, I had a call with a guy in VR, and it was the craziest experience I think I ever had in a long time in technology, at least. It was so good. I can't even describe. It was the weirdest experience. We talked for hours in there, and I don't think I've ever had a video call for hours that wasn't a work thing that I had to do. The app's called Big Screen. So it's a number 2 app for VR right now. It's free, and this idea is simple. It's the platform for, I don't know. It's so, if you imagine, it's so hard to explain on a call. I wish I could just show you, but I can't. Imagine like you're in a virtual kitchen, right? And you have a link to it, and you can just jump into that kitchen. You know, they're in the virtual space, right? Because you have these controllers like this. So I'm showing people on the stream. Why not? Because I've got them right here. And these are your hands. So like you can squeeze and it makes a fist, and like you've got these triggers so you can do pointy fingers on the you can do your thumb with like the trackpads. But you jump in, it's seamless, there's no drivers, it's less messing around than video calling. And the best part is you can do it in your underpants, right? Like you don't have to, you still get the full range of, with this, you can still gesture. They see in 3D space how you're moving and like what you're doing. But
what are you in this?
You're like an avatar, so you can like customize your head. You're kind of like this floaty.
I hate this.
But no, it was so amazing. Like I am 100%. I really believe it's the future. And so the crazy thing about this, what was not only that it was seamless and you really felt like you were there, right? The thing was, because you're like,
this is so scary for society.
It gets so even more meta because you're there in the space, you can actually share your screen in real time. So he's like trying to show me something, and he just like flips you have a virtual computer, which is actually your desktop inside the environment. You can just flip it around and like make it huge. And he's like, actually, watch this. And so we go into the next room in VR, and the next room is a cinema, an IMAX cinema, right? And you can watch a movie with 5 of your friends in perfect sync in real time on a cinema with all the lights look realistic. It was crazy. Positional audio, everything. And this dude is in San Francisco. It was the most weird experience I ever had. And I just like that was the point that I realized these kind of things are gonna just be out of control, I think. Like, oh my God. It was so surreal. I lost 3 hours in there. It was bizarre.
It's gonna be really weird when
Well, think about that. That changes workplaces. It changes. We talked about remote work last week, and I think it completely changes that whole thing. Like, why would you go to a space when you can technically be in the same space together? Oh my God.
Also, like it extenuates the odd society, the fake society, the like Instagram culture to some crazy degree, because you're not even you have this like I can just imagine how many people will find this sense of confidence in this, which I guess is good in a sense, but I think those are the places where people get lost, and like personally as human. And so, and forget
the movie Surrogates. This is like a movie about this.
So you can imagine like in a world where a lot of kids go home after school and do this and go to the virtual mall or whatever. So you think cyberbullying's easy, like VR.
So that was actually going to be my next point. So immediately after that, I played this new game, which is called Echo Arena. And it's a game, I think, made by Facebook. I probably am wrong. They're trying to make it... it's the first massively multiplayer. Like, they're trying to make it esport in VR. So they're giving it away for free. It's the highest quality VR experience I've ever had. And if you imagine... I don't know. I don't think you watch many movies, but just like Tron Legacy crossed with Ender's Game. It's just crazy. It's like Ultimate Frisbee in VR. The first thing that happened to us, like, it was super rapey, right? Like, because you've got these hand like motions and stuff. People were just being super sexual, like chasing you around the room. It was insane. Like, I had a friend who was having his first ever VR experience inside this game, and he was just like, I can't do this. Like, this is just too much, because it feels real, right? Your like whole head is in there. And this guy was chasing him around the room, like jacking off. It was insane. And I think
and then once it gets to like once we like, I can see the stupid business models now of like being able to buy like the latest Gucci jacket in the VR world, and then you're going to separate more of the haves from have-nots in the I'm more like, fuck, I think adults at this point are like anyone between the ages of like, I don't know, 26 to 32 is probably just a lost cause at this point. But I feel like I'm really, really, really worried about people who are in their mid-teens and coming into their teens right now. Maybe it's just like how things go.
I think it's like you can't stop it necessarily, right? But you can build.
I feel like wow.
That's so funny, because I think like if I think too hard about it, it gets really weird, and I think how weird it must have been for our parents to even have the internet.
Yeah,
I know. And then I'm thinking like VR is a whole nother thing though, because you're really my parents were worried about how long I was online, and now they have this VR thing.
If you had asked me this 10 years ago, I probably would have said, yeah, bring on the VR. It's the best thing ever.
It'd be super fun.
But now I feel like I sound like a curmudgeon, but I just feel like I think there's a lot of the problems that we have in the world right now are related to the abstractions of a lot of human systems that we live on and within, or social systems that we live on and within, that are not well understood, A, and B, doesn't have an education system that's equipping people to understand what the fuck society, like the whole system is. And so to think of bringing this out another layer, I just feel like it's like, people lost their lives to World of Warcraft. I don't know what the hell's going to happen.
Now imagine that, but you're playing Ultimate Frisbee in VR alone. Like, it's weird, because if you think about it too hard, it's like it brings people together, but This is book Ready Player One that everybody hypes. There's a movie coming out about it. Apparently, Facebook gives it to new Oculus employees. Kind of talks about this a little bit. There's a lot of problems with that book. Google that, but it's kind of talking about this whole world where VR is the only currency. You got to work in VR, and like that's how you get your worth in the real life. Like, how do you not? I just get really creeped out if I think too hard. And if you look at the headsets, if you look at what's happening in the space right now, everything's coming down market, right? So Microsoft just launched the Windows mixed reality platform. So that's a $250 headset with like a single USB plug, and it's 1080p. So it's pretty good. It's not perfect, but it's enough. You know? Weird times. I'm going to be that old dude shaking his fist at clouds while you're
I think
VR.
I'm excited about augmented reality. I think that scares me a lot less. I think there's a lot of, I don't know why the fuck I'm scared of this shit, but I just feel like
scary.
AR seems really useful. I mean, like the HoloLens is pretty useful.
It's VR without any of these like weird things that you have to go through to deliver.
Well, it's because AR keeps you grounded, and I think I just don't like things that take us too far away from ourselves.
Well, that's the thing with VR. So I was in a call for 3 hours.
It's a scary thing.
Yeah, it's interesting. Well, the future. I don't know. It's a crazy thing. I really do.
Oh my god! Imagine casinos.
Yeah.
VR casinos. People aren't even going to have to go to the casino anymore. They're just going to be
playing with Bitcoin, your virtual currency, and it will feel like it's not real money. And oh dear. So
what is this future we are building?
Interesting thing about the mixed reality headsets I was mentioning, they are VR, but they flip open. So like the Vive. I wish I had it in this room so I could just show everybody on the street. But the Vive is like this helmet, and you have to wear it, and blah blah blah. But with the new mixed reality stuff, it's a VR thing. It's like fully sealed, but you can flip it open like those. You remember those sunglasses that would flip up? It's kind of like that. So you can have a meeting in it, but then you can flip it open and still talk to real people as well. So you've got this VR coming downstream that removes the weirdness as much. So it's a very strange time.
I've been thinking a lot about Holo. I think Holo's really is the next
if they can.
I actually think VR and AR might even be like sort of stopgappy things when we get into 15 years into the future and holograms get really good. I was thinking the other day about how two really interesting technologies to think about combining in your head. When you push the thinger on the Snapchat thing, on the Snapchat filters, you push the button and it like scans its
like the AR thing.
Scans your face and it does the polygons, figures out the depth and stuff like that, and then maps the thing onto your face, right? And now it can do it with the dancing hot dog, which the dancing hot dog is fantastic, by the way.
Right.
It never fails to make me laugh. So that plus holograms and holographic projection is interesting because then you can move into this sort of new media world where, if you want to have a Shania Twain concert, it can Project Tango your living room, depth sense everything, really have an understanding of the space that it needs to project into, and then easily just, even you could do that today with SVG graphics or something. I don't really know anything about that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be super high fidelity, right?
No, and then I
don't know. I don't think it has to be super high.
There's different ways to do it. It depends on if it's projected into your eye or projected into the real world, probably.
Right.
If it's projected into your eye, it's just probably a different thing. But if it's projected onto a surface in the real world, or if it's just going to be projected onto your couch or something like that, then literally you can just sit and Snoop can sit next to you and
well, and those are infinitely replayable as well.
And then the labels can have a renaissance, and the music industry can have a renaissance, because then there's something worth selling again.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, for sure. And it's something that it's a one-time investment cost, and you can experience it like you're there in your house. I mean, that stuff is crazy. And then why have a real concert? You can just CGI all that shit. Anyway, some weeks we just go down like this crazy, like, oh no, the future hole, which is good fun. So HBO got hacked. I don't know if there's much to say about that, but they got hacked and a whole bunch of scripts leaked and stuff. And I don't know if it's, I don't know. We talked about like this whole thing, this trend towards ransomware and stuff, and it's just, I think we're only seeing the surface of it, right? You used to get warned of like, don't pick up a USB key from your parking lot because your computers could get hacked. And now we've got this stuff where, you know, HBO had something like 5,000 documents leaked on the internet, fully indexed. It's that, you know, that the script of Game of Thrones, that's no messing around. So I don't know. Interesting times. Hacks. That's it. That's all I had to say on that. Anything to add?
Seems about right. I mean, I'm not just not don't find that stuff surprising. I mean, I think I find it more surprising that these like massive companies are not spending some inordinate amount of money to like get themselves in some secure position.
Like cyber warfare kind of thing.
Yeah, there's no like. I mean, I guess they're probably all just saying, "Oh, it wouldn't be. It's not going to happen to." I don't know. I mean, also insurance.
I think that is it. I think that's actually it. They don't think it's going to happen to them, and then you see the Sony thing, and you're like, "How do you not take this completely seriously? It's absurd." You know. So
it'll never happen to us.
Nick Minute. Oh, that's a Kiwi joke, by the way. Okay, look it up on YouTube. NEKMINIT. Okay, Twitter is dying.
Oh yeah.
What did you read?
I read Larry Page's deposition to the courts in the Waymo Uber.
Oh really? Okay. Thing. What? I didn't even know that happened already.
It's quite long.
Anything interesting? Give us the highlights. Is Waymo winning?
He does not approve. He is aware of, but does well. So interesting. Apparently, and reading between the lines. Reading between the lines, this is no longer the case, and I'm not entirely sure sort of what the implementation might have looked like, but it seems like for a while Google had what it called a startup style compensation system. And it seemed like that startup style compensation system was basically based around if you do a project sort of in a startup-y sort of manner that Google can use as a core technology or something it's really interesting.
Right.
You'll get the, like, you know, you can easily earn one of these 100, 150, $200 million cash bonuses.
Oh, wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah, because they paid that Anthony dude insane amounts of money. Like, that guy has hedge fund money at this point. He has hundreds of millions of dollars.
He doesn't need to do anything. Who cares if he got fired? Like,
wild.
He can go make his own self-driving car, whatever.
But apparently Larry doesn't really. He's like, yeah. They asked him if he was aware of that being paid out, and he was like, yeah, I knew we gave him a big bonus under our startup style compensation thing that we were doing at the time, but it's not really like up to me. And
it was millions, though, right? It was
100-something million, yeah.
And he just like thought it was low key.
It was just like, yeah, it's chill, whatever.
But, you know,
that's money.
I'm like trying to pull
like
one.
Another.
But the thing with that is, I remember reading this Bloomberg piece, and he's actually quoted in there, and it was saying something along the lines of, and I'm sorry, I'm probably paraphrasing terribly, but they basically said, like, no matter what Google does, the amount of money that they have coming in, they can't spend it fast enough to make a consequential result on anything. You know, like when you're running a company at that scale, I think a few million, 100 million is nothing. I think they make a couple of billion a month, right? Like, this is, it's easy for us to say this, but I think, you know, if he had to approve things that came across, I'm not excusing an $100 million deal, but I am saying if he had to approve these things that came across his desk constantly, that's
yeah, no, I'm not. I wasn't really surprised. I mean, I think I was just a little surprised because I had sort of forgotten the scale that that Alphabet's gotten to.
It's easy to forget. And if you look at the EU antitrust thing, like they got fined, I think $1 billion, right? Something like this. Was it? I can't remember. They got fined some non-inconsequential amount of money. And if you look at it in the context, it's like 6 days of earnings or something. It's truly nothing.
Oh, I know. One other thing that we have not talked about that we should probably talk about. Those two things. Reddit raised $200 million at a $1.8 billion valuation, which I find very, very funny because
how do they
Reddit
get this?
Basically like
it's just a link site that's the same. How do you get 200 million? Is that a bad opinion? I don't know. Is it worth 200 million? Do you think so?
Wait, it's valued at 1.8 billion. They took $200 million in funding.
I think they're in the top 10 trafficked websites on the internet, but
people do seem to like Reddit.
I mean, I visit it every day for sure.
You do?
Yeah, every single day. But the trick with Reddit is if you're going to use it, you want to go in there. I'm very curious to hear what anybody has to say about this on the Slack. Not the Slack, but the YouTube live thing. The thing with Reddit is you have to unsubscribe from the, what are they called? The like default subreddits and curate your own. I'm on so many niche subreddits and, you know, they're topical. Those front page ones are terrible. Like
I sometimes go on Artislexia and that's about it. But
right. I'm in everything. So I'm in.
Can't stand Reddit.
Yeah, I've got a huge list. This account that I have is a couple of years old. I'm in, Build a PC. I'm in Learn Dutch. I'm in New Zealand. I'm in Amsterdam.
You're in Build a PC.
Well, that's from when I was building the VR stuff. So I'm in a channel called Learn Programming, and it's actually quite useful. I'm in one for Amsterdam. I'm in Shitty Kickstarters. By the way, that's an amazing subreddit. Also, No Yes, and Shitty Robots. And my current favorite is Totally Not Robots. Totally Not Robots is amazing.
See, this is now that we're having a live hangout, you will be able to see how frequently I'm sitting here shaking my head.
This Reddit that I'm in, it's truly something. Like it's this Totally Not Robots is basically a bunch of posts about things happening in the real world that are computer enabled that totally aren't robots. I don't know. It's just like the weird blur between AI and not right now is kind of funny. People in the YouTube thing say it's way less 4chan trolley these days, and you should ignore the front page and only subscribe to small subreddits. So John, if you gave it a go, sign back up to that $200 million startup, make a new account, unsubscribe from anything.
How do they make money?
Ads. I don't think they make that much money off ads, though. It's not as much as you think. But it's all about interests, right? It's all about small communities. Yeah, Mason says it's pretty cool for sports as well. So it's not about the thing that Reddit has that's really good is they're really good at the niche stuff. They're really good at links and they're really good at all that kind of stuff. Craig says gilding. I've been on Reddit for years, but I still don't understand gilding. I don't really understand what it is. Oh, there's also Reddit Gold. People can give you Reddit Gold for a comment, and heaps of people do it, and Reddit gets a cut. Actually, Reddit just takes all your money, and you get a gold star, and you pay to do that. But people do it. The internet. Chris says he doesn't even have a Reddit account, so whatever. The future.
Chris. Go, Chris.
You don't have a Reddit account either at all, right?
I mean, I think I have one because I had made one once to log in to upvote something.
Right. Like probably something about yourself, right?
Yeah. But I think it was a DigitalOcean thing once. Well, also I have a problem in that I actually do have a Reddit account. That's a really old Reddit account that I made when Reddit first came out. But I don't have access to the email address anymore.
Oh, no.
They say that they can't verify that it's me.
You can't recover it.
Here's all this username everywhere else that I use. Like it's not. Doesn't seem weird that this would be me. Nah, sorry, Betty.
I wish I could get my username from Twitter on Reddit. But the whole point of Reddit is your account name. Nobody knows it. Like you're not gonna. If you nobody knows your account name, so you can say anything. That's the thing with Reddit. It's very anonymous, and I think that's why maybe it's valued so high is it's like one of these communities where apparently somebody's one step away from bingo, by the way. Oh, Yorick, the creator of bingo, cheat. No. It's one of these places where the anonymous stuff, like, yeah, okay, it's peril and there's quite a lot of risks for them. But I think it works to their advantage quite well. Anyway, Twitter is dying. Can we talk about that?
I feel like we've been talking about it for 7 years.
Yeah, it's like every year it's like this alarm goes off and Twitter is still dying. So a couple of things happened. Twitter did earnings, right? Like, earnings is interesting if you invest in stocks, not so interesting if you don't. I mean, the only reason it's interesting for most people is you get a little insight inside the company. I want to note a few things. So first, for the first time ever, Twitter reported that monthly active users were exactly the same. It did not change. There was no growth. There was no retraction. It was the same, which is insane. So that happened. And also, I found this in the report and I was looking at it. If you look in the PDF of the report, there's actually a math error. They say it's the same, but it's actually less this quarter. And I don't know if they meant to like mislead or something.
You found that?
Well, yeah, I don't really. Yeah, if you look in the PDF file, it's 327 million this quarter and 328 last quarter. That's what the graph says, but they say 328 everywhere. So I don't know if like they did it on purpose or what. But anyway, so there's that. Anyway, Twitter is dying, but I think like the reality is, well, there's another thing. Okay, let's come back to this. Yeah, so Gino says in the YouTube, it should never have gone public. I kind of agree with you. Anyway. The SEC asked for more information because they were concerned that Twitter is not disclosing how many daily active users they have, which is something that basically every other startup does, right? So, I don't know. It's interesting. And Twitter says that essentially, I mean, I'm paraphrasing because if I scroll, it'll sound like I'm using my computer. But they basically said that would invite comparison to Facebook, right? So Facebook has 6 times the number of monthly active users of Twitter, and it would be an unfair comparison. So, fair or not, I don't know. I don't think Twitter was ever going to get to 1 billion users. I don't think it's going to get that much bigger than this. What are they going to do?
Remember how I deleted my Twitter like...
I miss you on Twitter, John. I really do.
A year ago? Well...
I do. Do you miss it? Tell me about it.
No, I've not. I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, thinking about all the things that have happened over the whole time that we've done 50 podcasts and all the things that we talked about over the...
And all the things, like the time you saved.
Yeah. The only time I regret... This is really sad, but I'll just say it. The only time I regret, or the only time I miss Twitter is when my self-confidence feels low. Right. And then I just want to say... And then I want to say
like talk to the internet.
Yeah, and then I can say, I'm going to say something smart on the internet. And then,
I'm going to say one sentence online. That's
and weird. I know my audience well enough to be like, oh, if I tweet this thing, everyone will give it a love heart and a retweet, and that'll be an indicator of how great I am. I feel like now I'm way more in. My life is a bazillion. I can't even tell you how much better without Twitter in it. Seriously, yeah. It's fantastic.
I've gone off it a few times, but the value that I get from it is still pretty high. Especially I run a newsletter, I run this podcast. Like it's really hard to extrapolate for that for me, but I wish there was a way to separate that.
I don't know, like 60 or 17,000 followers.
It bums me out.
No,
do you still have that account? Like, where is it? Is it dead? Or do you have it?
No, what I did was I made a new account.
Oh my God, you have a push-in on your pillow. I can see it. Sorry. That's so good. Sorry, what happened to your Twitter account? Oh, man. I wish people who were listening could see this. Like, John has an amazing push-in on his pillow, and I just noticed. It's so cool. Anyway. Okay, I have a good question. I have 2 questions for you. Oh, you have multiple push-ins. Holy shit.
I have 3 push-ins.
Amazing. Your push-in game is so strong. I have 2 questions for you. What happened to your Twitter account, and where do you get news now that you don't get it from Twitter? So start with the first one.
My Twitter account, I made a new Twitter account, and then I renamed my old Twitter account, and then I renamed the new Twitter account, the old Twitter account name, and then I deleted the old Twitter account. So then it was gone. All the tweets, all the followers, everything.
Wow.
But I still have my handle. Yeah, gone. And then it's past the 30-day recovery, so it's gone.
So you really lost all that stuff. Okay, cool. You're all in.
Someone told me that they thought that I had knocked $1 million off like my net social net worth value.
Because like investors would Google your Twitter or what?
No, just because when you have that much reach, you can influence people and like do things. I mean, but also that makes you valuable to employers and stuff like that. If you're like a punk leader,
you run a company, you're not in a position where that's interesting.
So that's exactly true. Like I was like, that was really useful for me when I was doing what I was doing at DigitalOcean because I was effectively the spokesperson for the company. When you Google, so it was useful to be able to have that big of an audience to be able to talk to developers and talk about the stuff that we need to talk about. But when I started this, I was like, well,
this is small thing.
I don't need any distraction at all. And I also don't give a shit what anyone thinks about what I'm doing. I don't need anyone else's opinion unless I ask for it. Like,
got it.
I have no.
Like it's actually noise at that point, though, right? You're so busy and you're focused on what you're trying to do rather than like giving Twitter value.
Yeah, no. So I was just like, and also, no one on Twitter like was a real super good like.
We met through Twitter.
10 good friends on Twitter. Yeah, I know. But I had like 10, like.
But we know each other IRL now.
You have tens, 16 or whatever, 17,000 people. Like, I don't know who the fuck any of those people are, right? So
it's really hard to meet people when you're at like that level as well. Like, Twitter is really useful. I would say up until about. I mean, this is really horrible to say, but I've a lot of followers. But I think it was really valuable to me on a like friend level at about 2,000 followers. But when you start getting above 10K, it's crazy. It's so hard to differentiate. Like it's there's so much noise coming at you. It sounds like I feel horrible saying that. It's like, yeah.
I never got my news from Twitter. I'm like a avid. So you have 24,000 followers. That's a lot.
That's a lot. I struggle with like every now and then I think of deleting it, but it's valuable. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you get to that kind of number of people following you, definitely, if it was me, I would probably convert it into like a brand account or something.
Right. I should just rename Charged and like do the old switcher.
You have a great Twitter handle, but
yeah. That's the problem.
I've never read the Twitter for the news ever.
So what do you read?
Well, I used to read news.google.com, but now that they've done a redesign, it's absolutely impossible to read.
So true.
Now I just go to every. I read. So I read like super weird, like. So I read a couple of Australian news sites. I read.
Australian news? Is that real news? Fake news?
Well, it's interesting because I like to look at publications outside of the U.S. because like U.S. centric news is either got a slant to it or it's very much fact, so they don't cover a lot.
So crazy,
So I read BBC pretty regularly. I think it's good, although I really wish that they didn't do customization per region. It bothers me that I come from the US, so they pick me US centric. Exactly, it's like me US centric news, but I don't go to the BBC for US news.
Why would you?
In the US, I know what the fuck's going on in the US. So I don't know. I find that very annoying.
So
I read CBC. I read Oslo Times. I read.
Oslo Times, is that a real thing? Okay, so you read a lot of different things. Like you have probably the most diverse media diet of anybody I've met.
Well, pretty much like 40% of my job is reading news.
Right, that makes sense. I guess for you, it's like about knowing who to reach and stuff. So,
well, what the hell's going on in the world?
Interesting. Well, I don't know. Twitter's making a lot of changes, trying to make it chill for new users, but it's not going well. So, I don't know. I don't like it. Okay, we have like one big last topic. Oh no, we have like two more. Okay, well we have like I would say 15 minutes less. So let's try and jam it in and see how we go. it's amazing because I guess like for people who are listening, you don't really hear this because it's usually not in there. Anyway, okay. Snap as a chat as a John. I said it.
Hey?
Surely somebody gets bingo on snap as a chat as a.
Snap as a chat as a.
Come on, dudes and girls. Like, come on. We're so close. Okay. Snap as a chat as a did some stuff this week, and it's been a while since we talked about them. So there's two things. Let's talk about the CNBC thing first. So CNBC reported that Snapchat's alienating the people that it needs to survive. So it's actually alienating ad agencies, the people who give it money, which is an interesting problem because Instagram has grown really fast. But TechCrunch published this interesting piece this week that basically outlined why Instagram's growth is misleading, right? Because Instagram has like huge numbers, but they're like heavily targeting markets where Snapchat isn't. They're targeting India. They're targeting a lot of these other countries where Snapchat is. I mean, you've seen Snapchat's attitude to global growth. They have no servers near those people, that kind of thing. So, and that's why the numbers are inflated so much. But ad agencies are basically saying that Snapchat's ignoring us. They're not telling us anything, and they're losing us. And the analytics thing is not working. Mostly what I'm curious, John, is are you still long on Snapchat? Because I bought a bunch of Snapchat shares, and damn, they're worth nothing.
Whoa.
Tell me what.
Back up. I never said I was okay. What I said was, I guess it's the equivalent of saying I'm long on Snapchat. I said I don't think the first 2 years of Snap,
Buy low, sell high.
Buy low, sell high. That's what I heard the magic formula is.
No, I'm long.
No. Like, so I don't think the first 2 years of Snapchat are going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I also think the stock will get to $10 or less. So,
mm-hmm.
At that point, maybe I would buy a couple $100 worth, but probably not.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would see how they do with their first hardware product. And if their first hardware product,
$12 right now.
Right.
That's
so
crazy.
I see how they do with their first hardware product. If they know how to ship, if they learn how to ship hardware, they ship something good that people like. Yeah, then I'm long on Snap. And
not a good result. I don't know if people can see that. It's not.
No, why would it be? It's going to get even lower. Like
it's going to go to 10 for sure.
The expectations of that stock are so skewed that there's no way.
That's the problem. There's so much hype. Everybody bought in, and then a whole bunch of people sold off. I mean, you got to wait. This is the thing. Facebook had a very similar, huge dip. Oh, Catherine has to leave. She's very close to bingo. Thank you for playing. So close. See you later. Anyway, the thing with Snapchat is they.
The second hardware product.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So they're going to try and acquire a company that's a drone company, and you've said all along they're a camera company. Do you think this is the right play, even if they don't have enough reach?
Whoa! What did you just say? I was not listening. I was thinking about it being a second hardware product.
Okay, so Snapchat's trying to buy a drone company. What's the name of that thing? It's like the.
It's called
Zero Robotics something. It's like a very famous drone that follows you around.
Hovercam.
Yeah, and it's really good. It's an autonomous drone that follows you around automatically. Apparently, Snapchat is trying to buy it for, I don't know, some money. Do you think this makes sense? Is this a smart play, even though they don't have the users maybe that their growth is supposed to support?
Well, it
was such a leading question.
Well, I'm trying to think of whether or not I can believe that I can see people like
following themselves around with
their
a
drone.
But I mean, this is a thing that's happening on YouTube. So
it's going to be really weird if this starts happening.
We're going to be in VR half the time.
We're going to go to
following each other around with drones.
You're going to go to Niagara Falls, and there's
everybody has their own drone.
100 drones hovering in front of the falls as people stand in front of the barrier to get their drone photo. And then also, if like it's not very good at face recognition, you're gonna have like tons of pictures of other people.
Oh, surely it will follow you and your phone. Like it must be a combo play. I haven't tried it.
So the real question is, do do you think that people are going to do, like, do you think consumers will bring their, how big is this thing? It doesn't say how big it is, does it?
What, the drone? It doesn't say how many people use it. They have 34 million in pre-orders. And it's pretty cheap drone.
Spectacles created $8 million in revenue.
That's a lot of money, actually, given it's just a pair of glasses. It's more than I thought. I thought it would be like $1 million, maybe.
No, they were expensive.
What were they? 100, I'm going to do the math.
Almost $200, basically.
Okay, I'm just going to do some math.
I bought a stupid pair, so...
You still have it, or what?
I gave them to Eric, my co-founder.
Okay. Nice. Does he use them?
He uses them.
That's 57,000 pairs of spectacles in the wild. So it's inconsequential, really, but it's a lot. It's a lot of them. It's not a lot of their user base, but it's a lot of them. Interesting. I think it's a smart play. If Snap is truly a camera company, they have to have this thing. Like it's about having a lot of different products and whatever. It's like you said many episodes ago. It's about being Canon of 2017. I agree.
I'll say, I guess, when I'll revise my statement on being their first hardware project to like their first hardware project to scale, right? Because that was like a very niche-y sort of thing. I want to see them try and sell something to everyone. You know,
like
I want to try and get in every single, whatever. If it's Whole Foods, or if it's Kmart, or if it's Walmart, or whatever the hell it is, whatever they decide to do, I want to see them try and sell.
Got it.
100 million units.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do that, and people actually buy them, and there's use, hell yeah, I'll buy Snapchat stock. And that's why I'm praying that their stock, I suspect that their stock will bottom out, and then that will happen, and people won't really notice it's happened. I feel like that's what usually happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you wait some period of like almost a year and a half, and everyone's like, wow, this is the worst stock in the whole entire world. Like, these people are doing nothing. And then
it goes.
All of a sudden they release something and their sales start going up. And then if you buy just before their next earnings, I feel like sometimes you can, like, I don't know, that's sort of the play I'm thinking about in my head. I'm watching it. I'm
waiting. I'm there for 3 years if I have to. It's not something I expected to sell.
Yeah, that's what Yurick got it right. It's a hardware product that is so good that you would sign up for a Snapchat account just so that you could use it. That's exactly right.
Yeah, exactly. It needs to be the thing that converts you, actually, right? Like, actually, if you look at, I was just going to ask you, like, do you think it's similar to the Twitter problem? But it's not, because Snapchat's advantage here is that they get in front of you through the hardware, right? So it's a gated product. They sell a camera or whatever that you have to have. And you
they're completely different mediums. They picked a completely different medium. And so as a result, you get a completely different experience, and one of them lends itself to hardware more than the other.
That makes sense. Interesting.
What Twitter should have done, and the thing that they fucked up, was they should have become a platform, and they should have powered
been a utility.
many Twitter-like communities. And
if they hadn't alienated everybody, right?
They shut down their API. Because they went down the road of being an ad revenue product. And actually, what you wanted to do is you wanted to say you can build on top of the Twitter API for the next 3 years for free. After a certain amount of time, we're going to charge you per API call to move messages around for you, and then you'll create some. I mean, they'd be like the new. Remember PHP BB?
Yeah. PHP BB.
Yeah, PHP.
Those are the days, man.
And VB something.
Yeah, forums.
Yeah, you could have been. They could have been that, but they didn't.
Look, the thing with Twitter is, like, they just thought about it wrong in almost every perspective. Even if they decided to be an ad company, they could have made an API that if you didn't pay them, they injected ads into the API. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, all of these things are. It's insane. So Snapchat is not the next Twitter, I don't think, yet. I think all of the hype around Instagram and stuff, it's all irrelevant. It's just media.
What do you think of the Bitcoin fork?
Oh my God. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen, John. look, I will admit we've talked about cryptocurrency. I'm not the most informed person on this topic, but it's the most insane thing I've ever heard. If you look at what's happening with Coinbase, like they're refusing to serve Bitcoin Cash at all. If you want to tank your money, like you want to tank your like fake currency, this is a really cool way to like make everybody not trust you and very confused. That's my 2 cents. That's all I know. What about you?
What does it eat? Let me just see here.
Bitcoin forked before, though,
so
right?
the SEC has said that issued guidance that basically cryptocurrencies with a ledger attached, with a resolving ledger attached to them, or reconciling ledger attached to them. No, that's not right. Basically,
if you're making fake money, it's money.
Well, they're calling it a security, right. And they're saying that. So if it depends on how you interpret it, but I suspect Ethereum is the only one that's going to be. Right now, I don't know. Maybe I actually really don't know what I'm talking about. But I think Ethereum will be the only one that's going to be affected by this because it's related to the way that sort of the smart contract right. execution and like payment distribution system works. Mm-hmm. They can say that sort of basically makes the whole thing a security.
Oh, right.
But they didn't go so far as to say that a distributed reconciling ledger is a security. So Bitcoin, in theory, may not be subject to that, or Ethereum maybe. Again, Hugo accused me of, well, he didn't really accuse me, but he said, be careful of spreading FUD. But I don't know. Seems like this whole cryptocurrency world is in a very interesting place.
Yeah, it's a weird time.
Holy shit, though. Dude, Bitcoin is like still worth so much money. I can't believe. I get like shivers when I go load up the Bitcoin per coin price and see that it's almost $2,800.
It's that point though where like it's so hyped that your mum knows about it.
It's wild.
I don't know.
I mean, I swear to God, I like would be so rich right now. I feel like let me see.
Apparently, I started Google Hangout for the Slack channel by accident. Oh, sorry. Carry on.
I would have had at least an extra million. I would have had $1 million to my name.
Yeah. Well, what about your neighbor that has a whole bunch of Bitcoin? Surely he's like a millionaire now.
Oh God, I don't want to talk about that. He's like getting to some level of like crazy because I think he's just under so much stress about it. So he's not making.
Dude, you gotta cash out, like make your money. I don't get it. Anyway, right. Well, Bitcoin. I don't know.
So what happened?
What with the fork?
Yeah.
Well, it hasn't happened yet. Bitcoin is forking. So there's Bitcoin and Bitcoin
No,
Cash.
It did happen.
It already happened?
It happened.
Oh. So obviously the world didn't burn down.
Well, but no, there's like there is weird stuff happening now.
Oh. Bitcoin exchange had too many Bitcoins. I Googled it. It's the first thing I saw. Bitcoin Cash. What the fuck is it? Okay, I don't think it's happened yet.
No, are you sure?
Oh, Tuesday. It tripled in price. Oh, yeah. Look, if it was me, I'd still buy the main Bitcoin, but it's a weird time. The main platforms don't support it. I don't know. There's a lot of risk you got to do and like whatever. Oh, yeah. Apparently, Bitcoin Cash got off to a slow start, but now it's worth triple. It is now at $400.
You can't buy it, though. You can only get it if you do the Bitcoin or something.
Yeah, that's there's no exchange weird. It seems Bitcoin is still at 2,700 euros despite this weird bullshit. What the hell is going on, man? I feel like the old dude yelling in the cloud now.
There's something I really don't understand here.
I don't know. I've looked at blockchain and I'm just like, so.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm not an idiot, and I feel like I sort of understand things a little bit, and like, I just don't. I mean,
it hurts my brain.
Well, I understand it technically. I understand that it's a speculative investment. I understand its asset class. I understand its market structure.
It makes sense, but it's the most insane thing you've ever heard.
I still don't understand it.
Yep. I have one last thing.
I don't know why. I feel like there's some thing that I don't know that's the reason that people are like, yeah, this is a good, like, I don't know. I just can't. Maybe I'm just a naysayer. You know, that's it.
I have one last topic for us, because we've just hit the 1 hour mark. Did you see that Elon Musk has lowered a car into a tunnel on a chairlift on Instagram?
I did see that.
It's the most meta thing. He did it. He actually delivered on it. It's weird.
I find
like,
also,
why is
well, I suspect that in the beginning it'll, I mean, I wonder, like, there'll be like a toll on this tunnel system, but Tesla users will get to use it for free or something.
Oh, it's like the supercharger model.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And it'll be like a zillion times faster.
Do you think this
and
is
in the beginning,
no, or just like thirsty for likes?
And then maybe they'll make it so only a Tesla can use it, and they'll make a fake technical reason, which will be that only the Tesla can auto park itself onto it, and it's such a slim thing that it needs like the auto park feature. And until other car manufacturers adopt his standard,
the expensive, very annoying standard that he will implement for it.
Oh shit! That's how you do it. That is literally
like how
for your, you create. Yeah, as you know, Ford. Ford used to set the standards for bumper tests for police cars for loads of states, and then they would be the only car manufacturers, like years ago in Crown Vic days and stuff like that. And they were the only car manufacturer that was able to meet those bumper test standards, which were way higher than regular cars. And so they would always win the contracts for cop cars. So, you know, if you can get involved in setting some kind of, you know, underlying infrastructure, underpinning infrastructure that you then set a standard around, and then everyone else needs to comply.
For getting there faster. It's literally like you said in the previous episode. It's like a toll for rich people. Like it's the thing that you use at the airport to skip the line, basically.
Also, they tested Hyperloop.
Wait, really? Like successfully? Did it work?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Like, it looks pretty good.
I really don't believe that it's like a thing still.
Why?
I don't know. Everything about it is like, this is so scammy. Like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. The concept is a really nice idea, but just the whole, everything about it seems horrifically expensive that it's hard to believe because it's open source and like there's all this like weird stuff going on.
Yeah,
the idea is super nice, but I don't know. Yeah. Oh, Leander said in the YouTube channel, yeah, the car lift needs electricity from the car, which is a great way to do it.
So they've managed to get it up to
Hyperloop is a napkin sketch.
200 miles per hour.
Wow, impressive. But it's just like the most insane, amazing extended tech demo, right? That's it. I
mean, the pod that they built and the thing that they built looks pretty good. It looks cool.
I'm sure. It's like, one of the Dutch teams actually won it, I think. 190 miles per hour. Crazy.
Well, this is the Hyperloop one that I'm looking at.
I have to get a charger. Just give me 1 second. You can talk to the people in the chat room. 1 second.
I can't believe he doesn't have his charger. Every week. Gotta shut my window. Gotta get my charger. Oh, cat's meowing. Oh, gotta go talk to Fab. Oh, gonna get some more wine. Oh, gotta pee.
Whoop.
Okay.
Hello there.
See.
I have this bullshit USB-C thing. Let me just plug this in. On a totally unrelated topic, I want to show you something really cool that I did. For people who are listening on the podcast, it's probably hard to explain. But I summoned an object from the internet, custom made this week, and it was very, very cool.
Diesel laptops.
Diesel laptops. Yeah, this is do that. I 3D printed this stupid hook thing, and it was like $6. It's really cool. I'm not going to be able to hear you when I take this off, but you can basically you do this.
He does this every week too.
It fits on your like
shows me random shit that he
cannot
finds.
see. So
Crazy.
Oh my god, how do I do this? Okay. So it's
Nice
crazy
guy,
though. So you go on this website, Thingiverse, you download the CAD model for this, you put it on a website, and it 3D prints this thing. It's so cool. I don't know. The future's weird. It just like showed up at my house and it fit my desk because the guy also had an IKEA desk. I love the future. Anyway, so Yorick says we should talk about the VPN apps removed from the Apple Store.
I just saw that.
Did he win bingo? Is it like meta if you talk about the thing without actually talking about the thing? And what did you say while I was gone?
I was just talking about Charge Tech Podcast and all the tech stuff.
On brand.
Explaining about important technology news. Yeah, so apparently Apple is complying with the Chinese government's request to remove the VPN. It's
a bummer, actually, more than anything, because they fought for censorship in the US and this whole thing about, I guess, privacy and all that kind of thing with the NSA going on. And then in China, it's just like, well, VPN is removed. Goodbye.
I mean, this is not a terribly...
but they have to comply with the law on that.
It's not a particularly popular view. And I even suspect...
I love it when you have controversial views.
Chinese people would probably also be not super stoked with this. But I think in the US and generally in the West, we misunderstand Chinese censorship a lot and misunderstand the point of the Great Wall of China and kind of why.
Interesting.
I mean, I think China fundamentally doesn't, I mean, I'm not going to speak for China because I'm a white man sitting in New York, but I think my understanding is that they just don't really feel like the West is merging its people in the right way. And so they really see it as a protectionism thing, I don't think they really see it as a control thing. I mean, obviously it is very controlling. But when you look at it through a slightly more empathetic light, although it's, again, from our perspective, really hard to see it that way because we have such liberty and such ability to explore the whole world and think about all of the things. I think there's definitely a feeling in China that, you know, the West is not the right way to, you know, run a country. I don't think all of it's necessarily malicious. So
it's also really hard as a company, like you have to comply with local laws, and it's.
I think, well, yes, that's true, but I also I think my point of saying that is that at the end of the day, Tim Cook has a call to make, and that is pull out of China because of this, or comply. And I think if it was like, you know, killing millions of people in a protest, you know, which I still think there's huge problems around that kind of stuff in China, but
somebody's asking for my
but I think the whole censorship thing, I think when you get to the very, very top of this, you know, and you're really just talking to the Chinese government, it's probably a slightly different conversation than what we think it is.
Oh, I'm sure the actual conversation isn't, can you please block the good stuff from the internet? I don't know if we have any
much more of a philosophical conversation.
Oh, I'm sure that they're very convincing in that regard too. So
I don't know.
All right. I think that's all we've got time for this week, John. So
we are teched out.
We are teched out. So I'm going to just do the bit where I say the things that you should do if you're nice. So if you like the show, you should review it on iTunes. All you have to do is place a hibiscus emoji, give us 5 stars. That's the rule. No, I'm just kidding. You do what you want. But we do have a thing going on. And if you want to talk to us, email us, hide@churchpodcast.com.
We do?
Have you seen the reviews? It's crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot of hibiscuses.
Oh, man. So please, like, if you want to talk, hi@chargepodcast.com. We both get it. It routes to both of us. And I'd love it if you email us. We get a lot of, like, it's very hard to, like, talk about on the podcast, but we do actually reply to people, and it's really cool and fun. So that's it. Until next week, thank you for hanging out with us live. And thank you for watching us on YouTube.
I think Owen would be a fantastic front runner for the new CEO of Uber. So I would just like to throw his hat in the throw his hat in the ring.
That's me.
If Tim Cook is listening,
nominate me since you so love Uber.
Seeing as you haven't made him the joint CEOs of Apple yet,
should be the CEO of Uber.
You can be the CEO of Apple. I'll just be your
secretary.
Yeah.
Amazing. Until next week, John.
All right. Bye, Biscuits, Owen.
Bye, John.
Bye, Biscuits.
But we're still here because people want to see my cat.
I'm going to work.
Hang on. Just stay for 1 second. I'm going to see if I can get my cat, and then we'll actually say goodbye.
I'll get my cat.
You don't have a cat. Oh, you have Pusheen. Just 1 second. I'll see if I can.
Pusheen is a cat.
It's a real cat. Sort of. I'll be right back.
Why did you make me do this? Every week. The cat's meowing at the door. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. Oh, I gotta pee. Oh, Fem's home. Fem's home. We're gonna make dinner. Owen's cat nearly killed me, for real. It's so fluffy and I'm so allergic to cats, and I slept on the floor and I didn't really realize that it was sleeping on top of me, and I woke up and I was like having an asthma attack.
Okay.
And that's what I think about Bitcoins.
He is very confused why I made him come here, but he's here. So, hello, this is my cat. He moves like a real dude. He is very large and fluffy, and he's molting, and it's terrible. And he's a little bit camera shy. But that's it. That's my cat. He moves, John, unlike yours.
We had a bingo, by the way.
Who got bingo?
Yorick got a bingo.
Yorick, the creator of bingo, got bingo?
Yeah, because Bye Biscuits was a bingo, I think.
Oh, really? Amazing. Good work. I'm so glad we got it because he built that. It was so dope. It's so cool that he built that. Oh, dear. Amazing. Okay. This was fun.
Did things to show me?
No, just that weird thing. Wherever it went. It was the first time. This is like, it's pretty cool. $6 delivered within a week. So, I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Right. I love you, Owen.
Yeah, I do. I spend my money on weird things, man. So
you're what I would call a goober.
I wanted to try 3D printing, so I bought a hook. Oh, Bye Biscuits. Oh, he won on Bye Biscuits. Amazing. We delivered. Oh, it would have been a shame if we didn't do that. All right, John. It's been a pleasure, and thank you all for hanging out with us. We will
until next week.
Until next
week.
We
will look at more technology.
I think we should do this again. It was good fun.
Go ahead. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.